When nobody was looking or anticipating, Liverpool went and dropped a massive transfer bomb. The English giants have signed Ronald Araújo from Barcelona. Shocker, right? The Uruguayan is not the most popular player in the footballing community right now, especially among online fans, so Liverpool fans have not exactly received this one so well. There has been a lot of pushback in the last couple days, with supporters feeling like the club is absolutely losing its mind. But we have a rather unpopular opinion here. We honestly think that this signing might actually be good for the Reds, and we'll be telling you why we think so in this video today. This is why Ronald Araújo fits right into that Liverpool team. Football fans, this is the deal you don't want to miss. Whether you're hunting for an iconic World Cup jersey or the colours of your favourite club, Goal90 Shop has the perfect pick for you. And right now, everything is a flat 15% off, with free shipping anywhere in the world. So don't wait. Hit the link in the description, head over to Goal90 Shop and grab your favourite jersey today. First of all, defensive reinforcement was very necessary for Liverpool this summer. After they unexpectedly lost Ibrahima Konate to Real Madrid, it became important that they brought in another senior centre-back who could partner with Van Dijk in the new season. Yes, they do have Jeremy Jacquet, and Giovanni Leone is expected to return from his long-term injury this season, but these are two young and inexperienced centre-backs who just should not be thrown into the deep end. The club would be wise to ease them in over the course of the season rather than just ask them to go into the first team and straight up replace Konate. Joe Gomez could perhaps have stepped up in Konate's absence considering his experience and knowledge of the club, but he had some injury problems during pre-season, which we believe was even the main reason Liverpool were forced to immediately go to the transfer market in search of a senior player. What they needed was a senior centre-back with experience playing for a top club in Europe who could step in as an adequate replacement for Konate, and you just have to say that Araújo fits the bill. He is big, strong, fast and very aggressive. And let's face it, defenders who have these attributes often do well in the Premier League. The English top flight is known to be one of the most physical leagues in the world, and Araújo is a physical specimen. He is good in the air, solid on the ground, strong in duels, and has really great recovery speed. You can already see that he has a lot in common with guys like Mickey van der Ven and Maxence Lacroix, who are regarded as some of the best centre-backs in the league. So we believe that the Uruguayan will do just fine in England. It is true that he has quite a few weaknesses, but we believe that those won't be exposed too much in England. What exactly are these weaknesses? We'll discuss them in a second, but if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, now is a great time to go do that, so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, back to the video. Speaking of Araujo's weaknesses, obviously his passing isn't very good. In fact, he is generally quite poor with the ball at his feet, which makes him a massive weak link when it comes to building out from the back. It is one of the reasons why he was often exposed at Barcelona. When you have a player who isn't confident with holding the ball and building out from the back, forcing him to do that will always put him at risk of making a colossal error. They spend a little too long on the ball, get jittery and indecisive, which invites the press from the opponents and puts them in very difficult positions. And this has happened even to players with much better reputations than Araújo. We literally saw it happen to Mark Guehi in the game against Everton last season, and one can argue that that's what cost City the league. But in spite of that, he is still respected as one of the best defenders in England because of his other qualities, which are better suited to what is often required when you play in the country. We strongly believe that the way football is played in England will amplify Araujo's strengths and minimise his flaws, and more so because he'll be playing alongside Virgil van Dijk. We're talking about one of the literal best centre-backs the league has ever seen. It's hard to look bad when you're playing alongside him. Araújo will certainly learn a lot from the more experienced legend, and we think that their qualities actually complement each other. Liverpool generally don't build from the back, and it's not exactly Iraola's style either, so we don't expect that the centre-backs will have to hold the ball so much. But when they do, Van Dijk can shoulder those responsibilities as he's a very good passer of the ball. But considering Araújo is younger, he can cover a lot more ground while also assisting the right back. We saw Szoboszlai having to do a lot of right back shifts last season, which just wasn't ideal. Araújo being able to cover at fullback surely influenced Liverpool's decision to sign him this summer. Also, this centre-back combination often works in England. One great passer, one strong and aggressive dueler. Stones and Ruben Dias, Van Dijk and Konate, Saliba and Gabriel. And speaking of Gabriel, if you remember, he was quite error-prone in his first couple years in the Premier League, and there were people who completely wrote him off. He was barely even getting called up by Brazil because of this, but he always had the attributes required to excel in the league, and with time, he was able to improve and refine his game. Now, he is duly recognized as one of the best defenders in the Premier League and in the whole of Europe. It is also important to highlight the differences between La Liga and the Premier League. La Liga is a very technical and slow-paced league, and as such, it glorifies intelligent and quick-thinking defenders. But the Premier League is a fast-paced, high-tempo and very physical league. Therefore, it is the fast, physical and aggressive defenders who excel here. Looking at these differences, it would make sense that Araújo struggled in Spain but will potentially fly high in England. A player like Gerard Martin, for example, would probably not survive as a centre-back in the Premier League because he lacks the required physicality and aggressiveness, but he's not doing so badly at Barcelona right now. In fact, the coach has shown that he prefers him over Araújo. It's really all about finding a club that plays to your strengths, and we believe Araújo has just done that with this move. Another proof of this is the 2022-23 season. That year, Barcelona did not play like their usual selves. Xavi prioritized grit, defensive solidity, aggressiveness, and physicality over entertainment, build-up play, and aesthetics. And Araújo absolutely shone in that setup. We believe that Iraola's Liverpool will set up very similarly to Xavi's Barcelona, which will make Araújo just the perfect man to pair up with Van Dijk in the backline. But in spite of everything we have said so far, we still have to admit that it is a risk. This is a man who has been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse in recent years. There is a huge possibility that it has done a lot of irreversible damage to his psyche, which could continue to affect his performances on the pitch. He is also moving to a completely new environment right in the middle of his career and will have to learn a new language. And on top of all that, it is looking like he is not going to have the patience of the fans, most of whom are already waiting for him to fail, so it's going to be incredible pressure from day one. All that considered, it is wise that Liverpool did not just buy him straight away, but went for a loan deal instead, with an option to buy for a reported €55 million fee. If the season goes well, they can go ahead and make it a permanent move. If it doesn't, they can just send him back to Barcelona at the end of the season. No harm, no foul. But we surely think that it is a risk worth taking. We're talking about a 27-year-old 6'3" centre-back who is super fast, can jump, is strong, and can also cover at right back. He has the qualities to excel in the Premier League, for sure. We just refuse to believe that a specimen of a player like this is damaged goods. Anyway, it is now time to hear from you guys. What do you think about this particular signing? Are you one of those ones that believe that Liverpool were silly to have gone for him, even on a loan deal? Or are you with us on this one that he could actually be a perfect fit for Liverpool? How do you think Araújo's first year in the Premier League will go? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.